Hey everybody, happy Thursday. Hope you all are doing good. It's been a while since I've done a live chat. A lot has been going on, and I thought, it'd be kind of nice to talk about some things that have been coming up. It's constantly coming up in my world um, because of some of the activism and the things that we do in the gallery and just being out in the world and meeting people and talking with folks and being friends with folks that go through a lot of different things. So tonight, I want to talk about abuse. It's not a fun thing to talk about. It's not super happy and exciting or whatnot, but sometimes we need to talk about some real stuff if we truly want to fix things in the world. So let's get into it. Let's talk about when we're kids. So, when you're a kid and you get real excited about something and you're just like full of life and you're just like, yeah, this is happening. And someone's got to knock you down. Someone's got to piss on your parade. And they make you shameful or for what you are excited about, or they just bring you down. They make you feel like you're being silly. And when children, and that's a very simple thing, it's not even like hardcore abuse, it's just a simple thing that happens with kids, whether you're in school. Hey Franklin, if a kid's feeling hurt from something that happened to them, they don't want to see somebody else happy. And the reason I bring this up is because that's a really simple example of what we all can relate to when it comes to what wins out in our society. It's that little thing. It's always that little thing. So let's apply that little thing to what happens in families, with certain friendships. Hey Kirk. With jobs, with friendships, faux friendships, with relationships, all kinds of different things, even going up to what you get involved with maybe cults. Something's really great about kids. Some people don't like kids, and I have to wonder about why they don't like kids. Children are brought into this world because sometimes we need to remember what hope is. We need to remember what optimism is. We need to remember what faith is. We need to remember what innocence and joy is. And parents if you listen to parents when they have kids, it's the number one thing that they love about their children is it brings them back to this space that through all the different corruption, all the different compromises, all the different pain, all the different stuff that goes on when you live in this world, it kind of tunes you back in to that energy, because that's what children are. They are that energy. It's a amazing gift that as adults, as sometimes corrupt as we can be, by the time we're, even 18 to 30 or older, you can have a child that has that and that can remind you of that. But here's where the abuse thing comes into. If parents don't truly value it, or they are so envious of seeing that in somebody else, even their own children, they'll squash it. They'll actually come against it. They'll actively try to hurt that. And if that could be the definition of abuse, it's pretty solid. It's this spirit of life. Hi, Virgil. It's a spirit of, hey, Scott. Oh, hey, Rhonda. What's up? It's a spirit of death wanting to destroy that which does create life, and what actually, if we tuned in, hey Scott, What's up? If we kept tuning in to that energy that children have, that hope, that optimism, that 100% faith in everything that they do, and knowing that the world is going to be fine and they're okay, and they just do what they love to do, that rejuvenates us in our physical sense, in our spiritual sense, in our mental sense. It's pretty awesome. I know, right? I know it sounds kind of weird, but here's the thing, and this is why I know this is true. People that go through certain abuse, and they can go through really tough stuff, but they hold on. That you can go one of two ways, okay? And I've had this conversation with more than a few people about this. You can be faced with some adversity. You can be faced with some really horrible things that may happen to you personally, or to someone that you care about, or something might happen in the world that really shakes your faith in goodness and in kindness. Well, you can either say, all right, that's going to give me 100% more of a reason to go out there in the world every single day and be really good to other people, kind, be there for somebody, even in a moment, and just put that good juju out there for the people that you're around, whoever it is. And that's a warrior doing that. Or you can go, all right, I guess this is the way the world is. I'm fearful now. Now I have a spirit of fear that I've allowed to attach onto me, that now I think is reality. And I need to overcome that fear by becoming that what I fear. So I need to become the hate. I need to become the violence. I need to become the bully. I need to become I hate to say all these different words because they're tough. I mean, I need to become that perpetrator, even if it's in play. Look at video games. Kids, they get hurt by little things. Sometimes we don't even realize how kids can get hurt. A harsh word sometimes, or not understanding what's going on, and when we knock them down, they get upset, they get frustrated, and they go right to the video games. And a lot of video games want to encourage violence. I'm just reaching for something right now. It's a glass of wine. They want to encourage this idea of you can play out your anger in a safe way. I don't know if it's really that safe, because we're vessels, okay? We're vessels for energy. If you don't really believe in spirituality or whatnot, fine, okay, talk about the scientific version of energy. Tesla talks about it. All the different supposed atheists, scientists talk about energy. We are energy. So if you replay that, you're putting that out in the world. Is that going to help? No, it's not. Okay, so let's go back to more practical conversation. Let's say that this is a current situation that I'm trying to walk through. Let's say that there's someone that has really awful parents. I mean, just completely neglectful, hateful, just speaking constant negativity into their own child, not being there for them. And then there's someone that seems to be a caregiver in some facet. Well, this person is in survival mode, and they will go along with whatever and be happy about it, like literally seem to be happy about these situations. But the thing is the caregiver seems to think that the therapy for all the negativity is to recreate the negativity and embrace it and think of it as fun, rather than say, well, let's focus on actual real love and real peace. There's a big difference. There's a big difference in that. And I see it a lot. I've been seeing a lot for years. I mean, I've been seeing it since I was a kid, you know. I mean, I've seen it a lot where kids that are hurt, they go through this thing where they go through the rebellion and they get angry and they get aligned with really hardcore music. You know, the kind of music that you feel literally that your DNA is splicing when you're listening to it. And they're like, yeah, you know, and they're able to express their anger, or that they think it's a release of expressing that anger through this music or through a video game or through maybe a brand. You know, today I was surprised by this person I met today. They had this T-shirt on, and on the back of the T-shirt, I didn't notice that at the front had upside, you know, it had the whole upside down pentagram, and it was really gnarly, that thing. And if you don't believe in symbols, then you won't understand what I'm talking about. But symbols are very important, and they do hone in energy. The symbol was very dark, very dark. And then the back of the T-shirt, it said, "Hate the living and love the dead." If you know anything about me, and you've listened to any of the stuff I've talked about in the past, that T-shirt says volumes on what's happening in so many different realms of what's going on in our society. People are tuning into language, music, art, philosophies, habits, drug habits, violence, all kinds of things based on death, and they believe it's a belief system. It's not. I mean, you can make it a belief system if you want, but